Hey, Boston Movie Guy here, doing one of my quickie movie reviews of movies I see when I see them on the tube, usually not in the theaters. These are movies like 1 or 2 years out of the theaters. And I just finished watching the movie Contagion. Uh, Paid $2.99 for it. Got it for another 48 hours. This movie's got, I wanted to see this film. I remember seeing previews for it for something, at another movie about a year ago, and I made a mental note in my mind. I'm like, you want to watch this film because this looks good. It's a subject matter that's always kind of intrigued me, and it's never been treated responsibly by any movie that I know of. There was Outbreak years ago with Dustin Hoffman. That movie was an embarrassment. It's just it's never, the subject matter of a contagion or a very deadly global virus has never been treated in a responsible, mature manner. We get it treated all the time, um, stupidly. They got to always, if the contagion itself isn't stupid like zombies or I Am Legend, where people turn into warlocks or ghoulies or something, it's never treated like responsibly. We can't see, a movie about what would happen to society if every other person that dropped dead. I mean, why can't we see that movie? And that's what I thought Contagion was going to be, and that's not the movie. That that's not what Contagion is. Contagion just becomes a souped-up Law and Order episode after a very powerful first 30-minute opening. And in fact, maybe that's why I'm so mad at this film right now after watching it. Because the first 30 minutes, you think it's going one way. You think it's going to be that film that's going to finally treat, this subject in a mature, responsible manner without resorting to goblins and ghoulies and warlocks and zombies and nonsense. But no, it doesn't. It actually just goes off into like a Law and Order episode, with the Contagion being the criminal, the CDC being the NYPD, and they're gonna get their man. And you, after the first powerful 30 minutes, and good 30 minutes. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with this film from a technical standpoint. It's all, the acting's good. Jude Law, Lawrence Fishburne, Gwyneth Paltrow, Matt Damon, Kate Winslet. They're all good. They all deliver their roles. Um, the acting's great. The film itself looks good. It's a dismal, grainy, depressing type of film that matches the film look that matches the film. The soundtrack is unique, especially in the first 30 minutes. It's just very unique, and it works for how they're showing you the progression of the contagion. But after the first 30 minutes, you get the impression you're clued into the fact that the contagion is going to be contained. And even if it were to get completely out of hand, it would not be that much worse than the 1919 flu outbreak that killed 1% of the world's population. And it just becomes this film about ethical questions that you really don't care that much about, and that are actually kind of absurd and stupid. One of them being, like, for example, Lawrence Fishburne. Lawrence Fishburne's character is the doctor at the CDC who's in charge of the virus hunt and getting the vaccine. And there becomes a point in the film where he warns his wife not to go into Chicago because the virus is going to be particularly bad in Chicago, that he has some inside information. And then Jude Law's character is this weaselly little douchey blogger character who gets wind of the fact that Lawrence Fishburne, that the CDC warned his wife. And he makes that public. And this becomes like an issue, okay? I mean, like an issue that people get concerned about. And there's a scene where Lawrence is at his office after it's become public that he warned his wife, and no one else got warned. To control the panic, you know. Um, and all these officials show up at Lawrence Fishburne's office, and they're like, Lawrence, or whatever his character's name. They're like, Lawrence, there is going to be a congressional investigation about this, so you need to be prepared for that. And he's like, I understand. And it's like, who would give a flying F about anyone at the CDC warning their wife like that. Like that's something like that would concern the average Joe on the street. That like somebody warned his wife. So that's where this movie goes after the first 30 minutes. And then the other side issue is basically Jude Law being a douchey little blogger who's a liar and he's making up stuff about the government hiding things. And they even managed to throw in a shot at hedge fund guys, just totally gratuitously. Like some hedge fund guy shows up at Jude Law's door because he's claiming he knows of a cure and he wants to fund Jude Law, and so he can make lots of money. I'm not particularly sympathetic towards hedge fund guys. I'm not particularly angry at them. I don't really know what they did or didn't do, but I know a cheap shot when I see one, and that's a cheap shot. That's where this film goes after the first 30 minutes, into questions like that, and you don't care. You just don't care. And the other deal with the you don't care. Once you find out that the Contagion is not going to be that bad, you don't care. There's one scene where Matt Damon is like the typical American father, and he's sitting in his suburban house, and his wife had died, and his daughter from another marriage is upstairs in her bedroom, and this is the effect on her life. She's texting her boyfriend, going like, "I'm so angry. I got to stay indoors. And I feel like I'm in jail." And she's all mad at Dad for keeping her indoors. Like, that's, like, the effect on her life. And then her prom gets canceled, and that's, like, horrible. It's like, what? So, yeah, that's where this film goes after the first 30 minutes. And, I didn't care about it after that. And once I knew where it was going, once it became clear to me that it was just going to become a dun-dun Law and Order episode, I was like, yeah, I wanted to turn it off, actually. I was bummed out by this movie. I had expectations because it does start off strong. And then it just goes nowhere. Cobbles together stuff, and you don't care. It was a bummer, actually, kind of. I was just bummed out. I'm waiting for a film to deal with this in a responsible, mature manner without resorting to goblins and gooblies. And this is not that film. Yeah, I'm bummed out. Would I recommend it? No, don't pay a dime for it. Wait for it to come out on NBC, CBS, ABC, HBO, whatever, I don't know. Watch it then. Watch the first 30 minutes. Then after that, it's formula. And, I'm bummed out. Yeah, I was kind of pumped first 30 minutes, and then it just, Law and Order episode. Boston movie guy, Contagion. It's a bummer.